Why does spending less on compensation help save the planet? Until now, one of the tools to fight climate change was aid for companies to modify their production structure and pollute less. However, now, Directive EU 2018-410 for the reduction of emissions in a cost-effective manner states that the non-use by member states of 25% of the revenue generated by the auctioning of emission allowances for the compensation of indirect costs improves the objectives of the EU ETS while maintaining the integrity of the internal market. What does the directive mean, and why does limiting auction revenue to offset indirect costs improve the objectives of the regulated and mandatory market for emission rights? Let's try to explain it with an example. Imagine we have a jar full of coins that we are going to use to combat climate change. These coins are the income from the auctioning of emission rights. That is, the money obtained from selling permits to pollute. What the directive says is that we can use up to 25% of these coins to compensate certain industries that are affected by measures to reduce emissions. This is like giving a small prize to these industries so they don't get too upset. What are these indirect costs? Indirect costs are like aid that some countries give to their companies to compensate for the extra expenses they have due to measures to reduce pollution. Why limit compensation? We could say that the European Union, in its fight against climate change, is evolving and swiftly correcting inefficiencies as it notices them occurring. Let's say that there are at least 4 reasons to understand this. First reason, more money to reduce emissions. That is, if countries spend less on compensation, they will have more money to invest in clean technologies, renewable energies, and other measures that directly reduce emissions. Second deterrent reason, avoid cheap pollution. In other words, if the compensations are very generous, companies might prefer to pay them instead of investing in clean technologies, which would slow down the transition to a low-carbon economy. Third reason, because it protects the internal market. If each country has different rules for compensation, competition would be distorted, and the functioning of the single European market would be hindered. And finally, more motivation to be clean. If companies know that they will not receive as much aid, they will have more incentive to look for more efficient and cleaner ways to produce. At ILP, we are experts in advising companies and startups. Our goal is to support your success and growth. Get in touch with our AIs Savvy and Athena to focus your inquiries or contact us directly. More information at ilpabogados.com and ilpstartup.com.